Bobby Platts wants to know what my thoughts are on training high school football athletes. What would be your approach, given you were put in charge of the strength and conditioning program of a high school?
Fucking great.
Well, the strength and conditioning coach of a high school is not in charge of the program. The head coach is in charge of the program. And that's the problem. If you're working for a high school head coach, you're working for, this is not always true, but it's 95% of the time it's true, you're working for a fucking moron. Right? These people are not real bright. They're not capable of understanding things that you try to explain to them. And they just know how they want things done, and by God, they're in charge. And that's the problem with high school strength and conditioning, because the strength and conditioning people are not making the decisions about it.
I got one of my clients, I started training one of his kids. He's a big kid, athletic kid, strong kid.
Right.
Real good in powerlifting, but, his technique was all fucked, squatting high, thinking he's stronger than he actually is,
right.
Pulling with rounded back, all that jazz. Fixed all that. Of course, his numbers dip a little bit because he's, not squatting 4 inches high.
Right.
And then, so we get a squat pretty heavy again. I think by the time we ended, he was doing 340 for 3x5. Not bad. We had a lot of room to grow. He goes and he's doing 2-a-days, and his coach tells his dad he has never seen Max hit as hard as he's hitting now. He is hitting so much fucking harder.
Right.
Because he was lifting correctly, and I just ran him through the normal program. He's stronger, and I just ran him through the normal program. There isn't anything special you have to do.
Right.
Whenever they are at that age, you can run them through an NLP, and they're going to get stronger.
Sure.
And they're going to perform better. It's that simple. He's asking what you would do. You just run him through an NLP.
It's a duh thing,
Yeah, you just run them through the program. Sometimes the coach is the football coach is the strength and conditioning coach. And if you're in a situation
in smaller schools, that's a lot of
if you're in a situation like that and the coach understands that people just need to get stronger, it's great. There's nothing you need to do other than
most
run
of them don't
the novice.
understand that, though.
Yeah, but
because they get on the internet and they watch all this jerk off shit on the internet.
Well, sure, but most people everywhere are stupid. So if there are people who pay attention and want to do things right, then what you do is just run the novice linear progression. What the thing that people get hung up on is, well, how do I teach 40 kids how to squat the first day? You fucking don't.
Yeah.
They all know how to squat. Just take 3 weeks and work on them individually or in small groups until they're squatting correctly, because they're already squatting.
Yeah.
Right? It's fine. It'll be okay, guys. Just get them cleaned up over the course of some time.
Right.
And then you have the juniors or the team captains or the seniors work with the freshmen.
Yeah.
And you create a culture of learning how to do this shit correctly.
That's whenever you have to invest years into it, because, like you said,
not even. You get it done in a season.
Well, no. If you want the leaders to be able to watch and help, they need to have gone through the program, and that's why I think that you need to start them young, 8th grade. 7th grade, 6th grade. Get them. You can start, like, especially smaller schools, smaller towns. Iowa Park, for instance. Those kids. You have kids starting kindergarten and then they graduate from Iowa Park. So you have so much opportunity in these smaller schools to be able to train these kids properly young, and you don't have to really worry about it because they've been exposed to it for so long.
If the coaches have their heads out of their ass.
Let's assume
that's a giant if.
That's always an if, Rip, but we're going to have to assume that some of them don't. Some of them don't have their heads up their asses.
Yeah, so let me talk to people who have an opportunity to do things correctly. Don't let the fact that you can't teach every child how to do everything perfectly stop you from getting started.
Yeah.
No.
They're already squatting, they're already benching, they're already deadlifting, and it may not look great, but the first thing to do is to start establishing some standards, especially for depth on the squat. Yeah. And then you're off to the races. Just make sure they're not doing more than sets of 5.
I don't think you guys. There's a whole school of thought amongst those people that since.
But eventually you got to stop addressing the problem and talk to people.
Your lineman stance is not a below parallel
eventually you got to
squat.
stop addressing just the situation that's shitty, because there are people who do this correctly, and you know some of them, right? So you got to give the people who have the ability to do something right, a pathway in order to actually get some shit accomplished.
Yeah, I'm not going to just stop talking to them. And then the ones that are wanting to help, the ones that are wanting to listen, the ones that are wanting to learn, well, fuck you guys because you're in this group.
Then here's
and I'm not suggesting that that's what should be done. All I'm suggesting is that you're talking about a very, very small group.
And I'm going to continue talking that small
And then
group.
the other problem is if you've got somebody who is advocating for doing things correctly, a strength and conditioning coach, for example, and they walk into some athletic director's office and pull out a blue book and says everybody needs to do this and everybody needs to read this book, they're gonna get shut down and get out of here, because now you're challenging everybody's fucking egos and shit.
Yeah.
So there are ways to do things where you can be very effective and work your way in and make things happen without being asshole about it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the challenge. Right.
Yeah.
Now, occasionally you have somebody who could just do whatever they want, like a John Janacek or something. Great. All right. So let's teach them. Let's tell them how to proceed. Just get them going.
Yeah.
Join us this week on Starting Strength Radio. We got a bunch of extremely creative comments from the haters that will demonstrate conclusively why these people are fools. All right, without any help whatsoever from us. And we're going to do a paper Q&A where you write in, ask us questions, and we try to sort through your thoughts for you so we can answer them. All right? Friday, Starting Strength Radio. Be here. Aloha.